Hello, this will be our second video going through the Federalist Papers. One of the things that I want you to remember when you're learning about American history, the most important thing to remember is the map of the United States. Okay, let me show you one thing real quick. Okay, this is the whole of 48 states of the United States right now. Those first 13 states formed where this yellow strip of land is right here, right by the Atlantic Ocean. And keep in mind that the majority of the people lived very close to the water. And when you look at what a vast piece of land was going to be available to them in the future, you will hopefully gradually start realizing how that shaped the course of American history. I have to say something, and I hope you'll remember this. America is lucky and America is blessed. Those two words, lucky and blessed. America has been lucky every time something critical has come up, something very important has come up, something that could change the course of history for them. There have always been the right people to guide it through. This happened at the time of the founding of America, the time that we'll be looking at for a little while. This happened, most importantly, at the time of the Civil War in America. America was very fortunate to get their best president ever, Abraham Lincoln. There's not going to be another president as good as him. I guarantee you that. They had him as president, and he was the only person that could keep the country together, that was willing to pay whatever it would cost not to break up the Union. And since we are studying federalism, had there not been Abraham Lincoln as President of the United States during the Civil War, there would not be a union for us to talk about. There would not be a concept of federalism for us to really look at deeply. And then the third most important and lucky event for Americans is that during World War II, they had someone like FDR. FDR, because of polio, even though he came from a very, very wealthy background, he could relate to the poor, to the people who were in need, not only in the United States, but around the world. So America, and I think we, have been very lucky that during those critical times, during those very important times, America had, in the case of the founding, a great group of men who founded this country. Of course, Washington at the head. And then during the Civil War and during the World War II, they had two great presidents that could pull the country along, even though there were many sacrifices to be made. So always keep that in mind. America lucky and America blessed. When I say blessed, I know that people like Native American people, my brothers and sisters, Native American people who were here, who were mistreated. That's the very first thing we have to acknowledge. They were treated very badly for many generations. So I acknowledge that. However, when I say America has been blessed, Americans, if they couldn't get along, they could always move this way. There was plenty of land for them to take and start up anew. And lucky for all of us human beings, were interested in the idea of federalism. Lucky for us that this happened to be the case when the first settlers came in, because there was plenty of land. They could no longer bring that disease of royalty and titles and nobility from England with them. Because in England, there was not enough land. So all these big landholders could hang on to their lands and carry being called lords and barons and all these people with these titles. But in America, you had plenty of land. So lucky for us that because of this blessing of land, the idea of born nobility no longer meant anything. Like Thomas Jefferson, who was one of these great founders and who became a president of the United States, one of the things that he talked about was that he was very happy that they could throw away, was doing away with titles of nobility, because they threw away the law of primogeniture. If you pay attention to the word primo, first, geniture, the word genes, that means that for the longest time in England, the eldest son would inherit all the land, would keep all the wealth, and would be able to carry that title with him. Of course, keep in mind that I don't want to give you the big history of it, but I'm just trying to give you these points. So I'm maybe sometimes possibly oversimplifying. But as you go along and learn about American history, you will learn this. So he was very happy that they could do away with this law of primogeniture, so other children could inherit wealth, other children could better their lives. So that was one of the great blessings that we got, was because of this land. Now I, Hu Sheng, I have been very lucky and blessed. And that's why I am sitting in front of you and hoping to share what little I know about federalism and Federalist Papers with you. Because think about it. I was born in Iran. I came here when I was 18. And ever since the American hostages were taken in Iran right after the revolution, everything you hear in American media about Iran is ugly. They can't find anything good to say. So you would ask yourself, why would you be interested to say these good things about America when all they're doing is trash talking, talking bad about the country you come from, about a culture that you're proud of, an old, vast culture that did not start 40 years ago, but it started thousands of years ago. And of course has had many, many bad people in it, but many, many, many more good people, and good things about it. So you ask me why I would be sitting here and talking about this great thing about America. It's because I, like America, have been very lucky and very blessed. I've been lucky that every time something bad has happened to me, with the grace of Parvardigar, the creator and sustainer of this universe, I have been able to see the good that might come out of it. And I've been blessed with multiple occasions where what might have been bad things that could have really ruined my thinking, I've been blessed and lucky to not let that happen. And I will talk to you more about these as we go along, but I want you to remember, lucky and blessed. I want you to remember, ocean to the right, ocean to the left. Canada, a very small population in the north, and all Latin America, they had to be careful about them. But really there was not a major threat from here. So you had vast amount of land that people could settle in, and they could start this experience or experiment of federalism and see how federalism develops in it. Nobody to attack them from the right, nobody to attack them from the left. That is if they united. Had they not united, had they not been wise enough to unite, then it would have been most likely very ugly. We would not have had a United States. We would have had multiple countries, and who knows how the history of the world would be different. I have always thought that all the population of natives, Americans, native nations of this country were a blessing to humanity. They kept this continent safe and beautiful. They did not waste things. They did not abuse it so that the rest of humanity can gradually come here and start this new experiment and hopefully have something great to offer to the rest of the world, to the rest of the humanity. So because of that, I know all the suffering that the natives who were living here, Native Americans, whether it was South America, North America, Middle America, had to go through. And so for that, I think it was God's doing that people like that, with that culture, with that civilization, be the people that will be settled here to safeguard this place, to keep it healthy for the rest of humanity. Thank you.